Hey folks, I look a little rough. Been busy, but my hip has been hurting me really bad for a little while, and it's wearing me out. I want to talk to you about some things. You know, this life that we live right now in the United States it's about to end. Chaos is coming. The corporations and the politicians are paying for people to do what they're doing, to cause divide and conquer to happen. They're dividing each one of us into groups, and they're making us fight with each other to the point of death. To the corporate offices, or I should say corporate officers, and to the politicians, what are you going to do when people have enough and you're still above ground, and they decide to, well, disrupt your life? See, the thing is there's more of us than of them people. But the problem is the ones who are awake aren't enough to do it by themselves, and the ones that aren't awake are cheering on the dissolution of rights, cheering on anything for the government to take control so they can have a little shred of food and still be homeless in their cars, some of them. I've talked to some on the streets. People cannot afford housing. Now, I bought this piece of property in 2020. I made less than $800 a month at the time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I make a little over $1,000 a month. I don't have house insurance. I'm not tied to the electric grid. I don't pay for health insurance, although I have it. I don't use it because I don't trust doctors or hospitals. I don't have a vehicle, so I don't pay auto insurance. Although I keep getting junk mail saying how they can save me so much money a month on auto insurance. I have a land contract payment of about $350. I have another building that I'm paying almost $300 for. I have a phone. Then I have taxes. You know, I can see why people can't live. I checked out rent. You know, in 2019 in this county, it was like you could find a place for $300, $350, $400 pretty easily. You could buy a car for $500 to $1,000, even though it wasn't much. It still got you down the road. And then everything changed, and the beast system rose, and the dragon woke up. Now it costs you $400 or $500 if you're fortunate enough to find something like that for a room in somebody's house. And even then, you still got to pay part of the utilities, a third or half. And I've seen rooms for $1,200 for a month. Utilities might be included, but still, a person like me, I make $1,100 a month. I can't afford $1,200 a month. I can't afford $900 to $1,200 a month, bare minimum, for a efficiency apartment, and then pay utilities. One of these days, I told people back in 2005, you're going to wake up and there's going to be military in the streets. 2007, I told people there would be food shortages. I told people a lot of things. They're going to take away the guns. Oh, no, they won't do that. Look at my last video or two. I mean, I think it's a short video. There's a couple of videos on there taking away your guns. That's what they're working with. Cash Patel says, oh, you're not allowed to take guns to a protest? You're allowed to take guns anywhere you want to, but they have made it so you think you can't. So when they put in these rules, these ordinances, these laws, they call them, people just believe it and suck it all in and don't do anything. People haven't done anything for so long now they can't, because we're at the point of no return. They want to destroy this country. So the corporations and the politicians are working together to destroy this country. Are you going to do anything about it? No, because most people have got their face in their phones, in their tablets, in their computers, on the big screen on their on their wall in the living room. Oh, in some cases in their bedroom. Being entertained by stupid stuff and not paying attention to what's really important. And the one thing that's the most important is God. But you can't talk to anybody about God because there's less and less people who believe there's a God. But yet they're serving Satan. It's like there's no God, but there's a Satan. How does that work? The Lord God created Lucifer. And then he decided he wanted it all. And he got stupid because he thought, well, I'm a creation, so I can go ahead and usurp the creator. If I was the creator, I would make it so that there's no way that would happen. I'm pretty sure that Satan, thinking that he was that smart, thought he could get away with it. But even common sense says, how could you do that? Folks, we're about to enter into a phase of fighting on the streets like you've never seen before. I watched, what is it, Project 3 out of 7 or something like that, or 3 of 7, was a Navy SEAL, and he was in other countries. He saw how it went from order to chaos in like a nanosecond. He didn't put it that way, but he was telling the people, you have no clue how fast it can go from the way it is right now to no law. Or there's laws, but nobody's there to enforce them. And that's basically what's happening. And when you read the Bible, it says there will be a time of lawlessness. Look at everybody that's in power. They're running rampant. The laws don't apply to them. Don't believe me? Just ask them. Oh, it applies to them until they're doing something that's illegal, and then all of a sudden it don't apply to them anymore. Folks, I've been telling people for a long time, grow your own food as best you can. Yeah, you got to buy food, unless you're really good at it and you've been doing it for a lot of years and you collect your own seeds and different things like that. Or you just live off wild foods, which is basically almost impossible, seeing so they're putting 3,000 chemicals in the sky every day to poison everything, including you. And they do that mostly in the United States. It's not even worldwide as much as they do weather manipulation. But as far as the chemicals that they're putting in the skies, that's for you and me, brother and sister. You know why? Because this country is different than the rest of them. You know what? It was an experiment. You know what? Benjamin Franklin said, a republic, madam, if you can hang on to it. That was a challenge right there. You don't think so? Think about it. Use some common sense. Everybody needs to get their brain back in their head instead of on the ground where it gets dirty and it gets cloudy and they can't see or hear anything. And by the way, let me ask you this question. How many of you ever thought that the circus that you went to see as a little child would come to your doorstep and be there every day and be a nightmare? Because that's what the American dream is now. It's a nightmare. It's not an American dream. You're in La La Land if you think it's still going to go backwards. It's not. It's never going backwards. They're telling you in plain sight it's not going to go backwards. It's not going to go back to where it was. It's going to go forward to the new world order, which includes the one world religion and one world government that's in the Bible. Now do you believe me? Now do you believe the Bible? Because all the prophecies is always 100% happening or going to. The ones that have happened, you can see it. The ones that's going to happen, you better open your eyes, because you know what? The coffee's starting to burn. Wake up and smell it. Get it done. I'm out.